Right now, it seems like Enzo Maresca is set to become our new manager. Tonight, my friends, we have some massive stories to discuss involving Maresca updates as well as signings we are hoping to tie down very soon. It seems like this year is set to be another crazy summer window. Tonight, I was actually out. I actually had plans. I had to cancel them to come back home to just release this video. So I'm here to let you guys know this is my commitment levels throughout the summer. So make sure you guys stay tuned on BlueLionsTV this summer. Hope you enjoy. Hit that like button and let's get straight into the stories. So let's tackle the latest updates surrounding Enzo Maresca. As reported late tonight by David Ornstein, Maresca is set to sign a 5-year deal. Wow. As we know, Leicester gave us permission today to hold conversations with Maresca to agree a figure, wages and contract length. At the moment, we just need to wait for Leicester and us to agree a compensation package. That fee should be between 8 to 10 million. That is a lot of money. He's one of the most expensive candidates that we were looking towards. So the fact that we are showing so much commitment towards paying whatever this fee is, as well as offering him a long-term deal, I think this is a massive statement of intent from not only the directors, but also the ambitions of the football club. Because when you're offering a contract like this, you're not doing this for no reason. You're doing this because you really believe in this direction. You really believe in what Maresca can offer, and you're here to, at least by the sounds of things, give him that time and patience to grow his football with our squad. Now, Maresca is very excited by this opportunity. He's excited by the projects. He's excited by working alongside great, young, talented players. A lot of these players he's familiar with during his time at Man City's academy: Cole Palmer, Lavia, and maybe by the end of the summer, we could be adding 2 more former Man City players to our squad. So I'll be discussing those reports later on in this video. It seems like everyone at our football club wants Enzo Maresca. It came out in reports tonight that Maresca not only impress our directors, but they impress the board members too, and your Bowleys and your Egbalis. And they believe in the vision, his football, his philosophy, his way of playing, his modern approach. And they feel like categorically, compared to all the other candidates, his methods suit the direction they want to see this team and squad go down. Enzo Maresca is set to follow in line the Italian legacy left by former managers before him. You're looking at Gianluca Vialli, you're looking at Di Matteo, you're looking at Conte, you're looking at Sarri, you're looking at Ancelotti. And one thing they all have in common is they have all lifted silverware at this football club. So can Enzo Maresca now make this 6 for 6? But let's now return back to the contract length we've offered him, because this is a massive statement of intent. There's no other way to look around this. I mean, Maresca today wanted certain assurances in the conversations and meetings to make sure they'd be fully backed and supported. When reports first came out earlier this afternoon suggesting that he would sign a 2-year contract plus 1-year extension, I said in my previous video, and I suggest you guys watch this one tonight afterwards to get the full context and scoop of my current opinions on Enzo Maresca. But I said in that video that, does this contract length necessarily reflect belief and confidence in Maresca's vision and philosophy? I don't think it did. But now that news has come out that we are set to support him by giving him a 5-year contract, I think it's the ultimate sign and show of confidence that we really believe in what Maresca is doing and what he can offer this football club. You like to assume that now that we're taking this direction of going down this positional play route, there is going to be that acclimatization period. With this type of football, it's something that slowly gets better over time, kind of like fine wine. That doesn't mean that we won't be competing. It just means that when we start like fully firing on all cylinders, like working in the most optimum perfect way, that will only come with time. So Maresca needs to feel that show of faith of, listen, if I'm going to make this massive career move of leaving Leicester City, because I don't have to do that. I'm not in a situation where I'm desperate. I'm young. I'm only just starting. If you want to hire me, you have to present to me why you want me. I need to know and feel confident in my work. I need to feel confident that I will be supported properly. I don't need to have full control on transfers, for example, but I need to have a collaborative feel and effort with my directors. I need to feel like I'm being heard. You can't sign me if you feel like 2 years is enough to get me, because I won't come. And I feel like this is the energy that Maresca's had in these meetings today, because he's someone that is confident in his work and knows what he's doing. So I don't think, as I'm saying, he was in any situation where he had to beg it and bend over to sign for us. And I think it's about time, most importantly, that these directors start letting us fans know exactly the confidence behind their vision now. And this 5-year offer, this 5-year deal does reflect that this is set to be the new direction we will see these players go down in. So tomorrow, I'm going to release a video discussing what to expect from Enzo Maresca, involving how he'll use the players, tactics, plus tons of insight as well too. So make sure you guys are here tomorrow afternoon, because that's set to be a massive video. But in the meantime, share your thoughts and opinions. I know that a lot of this news has come so suddenly. I'm sure some of you aren't maybe as excited behind this direction we're going down. If you feel that way, let us know. But if you feel very excited, very hopeful, and you're finally getting that field of confidence now from the ownership, let us know too. Let's get this conversation going. And now we move on to discuss another big article that dropped tonight, and it involves our recent efforts to sign the talented 17-year-old right back in Pedro Lima. Now, tonight this report comes from Duncan Castles, and he says at the moment we are in advanced negotiations to get this signing over the line. As we last learned, the proposal we offered to Sporting Recife was around 6.2 million euros. Duncan Castles now reports that we have come back with a new proposal of 8 million euros. This is a bigger increase, and is closer to the 10 million euros demands that Sporting Recife won. Now, as we're learning, Sporting Recife's president has flown into London to finalise negotiations, and at the moment we are moving fast because Man City now are coming into the race to try and sign him, and that's for big reasons, because Pedro Lima is seen as the new Cafu. You guys have seen his clips, his highlights, his best moments. You can see he's one of these fullbacks that is kind of like a winger, technically astute, very confident going forward, can invert, can overlap, has that imagination to his game. And I keep stressing, for big clubs, the fullback area is so important. You have to be more than a fullback. You have to be like a wide mid. You have to be a winger. You have to be a more complete player. You have to be box to box. These are the demands and expectations placed. But there are some interesting revelations coming out around how we could actually finance this type of transfer. We're learning that we could actually get Strasbourg to finance this deal by themselves. We know that, of course, when they sign players, it comes under Blueco. That's like one of the parent companies. So they could finance a deal like this, and then in the future, we could maneuver things to make them come to our club eventually. That's how it works when you have this feeder club type of model. And this way, at least, it means that we get to save the extra millions that we need when it comes to addressing first team concerns and needs. Now, listen, it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to sign him. Who knows if Man City come in with a bigger offer, or what if maybe in the end, Pedro Lima is undecided. But it is quite reassuring to know that we already have Angelo, we have Andre Santos, and potentially David Washington, who are all going to be at Strasbourg for next season. And there is a reason behind why we are continuing our efforts to signing South American talents, because this all falls in line with the grand, long-term vision of boosting our audience and boosting our fan appeal and fan base to increase the Chelsea brand appeal. Now that profit and sustainability rules will change to spending caps based on revenue, with up to 70% of revenue allowed to be spent on things like transfers, agent fees, etc, etc. One way to boost your revenue, of course, is to boost your fan appeal, to boost your brand appeal, to get a bigger audience. And we can get a bigger South American audience over the years. They're seeing some of the next great South American talents playing for us, and hopefully seeing them lift silverware, trophies, getting that recognition globally. We could tap into a new generation of South American fans who see Chelsea as one of the clubs they want to come to, they want to sign for. And when you boost your brand appeal in this manner, this helps in other factors like getting better brand deals, getting better sponsor deals. You know, we have a bigger audience we can leverage that can secure us financially. So there's a big long-term plan working here. And I don't think we'll see everything at its full extent until 2030 at this rate. So there's still a lot of things to come. It is exciting, and to be honest, I'm not opposed to signing a Pedro Lima. I think this kid looks like a real talent. This now takes us on to the final story of tonight, and as we learned from Sky Sports, we have now presented a contract offer to sign free agent Tosin Adarabioyo. Now, this is crazy because with this story, it was believed that Newcastle were the favourites and were ready to get this deal over the line. However, we have come in with a late offer and a late approach, and now it's down to Tosin to decide whether he wants to stay in London, maybe compete in European football in the Conference League, and maybe boost his international recognition and standards by signing for us, or does he go to a Newcastle where maybe you could argue you might get more first team minutes and more opportunities. Now, is it safe to say that we see him as the clear replacement for Thiago Silva? Maybe, but I think if we're being realistic, he would probably be the replacement for David Jalaba. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's the replacement for Silva, and Jalaba will be sold, and we'll find a replacement for him that will cost like triple the money. That's most likely going to be the route. And you know what, I'm going to say something, it might not be that popular, but you guys know me, I don't try and say things to get mass popular appeal with everything. But you know what, there's a time when I was young when I watched our youth team beat Man City 5-2 on Ag, and that Man City youth team in the FA Cup youth final did feature a certain Tosin Adarabioyo. Now, our team had your Solankis, your Tammies, your Bogers, your Tomoris, great talents, and we absolutely outplayed them. And then a few years after that, I watched us in the second leg destroy Man City's cream of the crop academy talents that included Sancho, Foden, Diaz. 5-1 at home in the second leg, courtesy of your Mounts, your Hudson-Odois, and your David Jalabas. And it's crazy to me that I'm in this alternate universe where I'm seeing us trying to siphon the best of what City are producing, whilst not really caring or looking towards the talents that we produce here. I say this because Tosin Adarabioyo is someone that we've known for a while, is someone that we want to sign on a free deal, but we also learned recently that we are also keeping our attentions on Burnley's young goalkeeper in Traffords, who at 21 years old, an England under-21 international, he does look impressive, he can play out from the back, tall, good aerially, etc. But I just think, we're seeing us constantly turn towards Man City youth and academy talents and knowledge, Those players, Maresca on top, Joe Shields, you can understand maybe the synergy behind why we're making certain decisions, right? And I know what I'm saying isn't popular, but you guys know sometimes when I'm thinking, I can be a bit fearful. And my fear is, I hope that this is a short-term thing and the long-term impact won't be everything coming at the expense of Chelsea produce. Because I'm sorry, we can't be producing players of this caliber and this quality and they're constantly getting dismissed or they're being discarded for economic reasons. I think to myself, why the hell would we even consider allowing Jalaba to leave, especially now when Maresca is set to sign, and Jalaba can be that additional support playing as the inverted right back. He is meant for that role. He's played in mids, he's played as a right back, wing back, right side of a back three, back two. Someone this versatile, someone that consistently gives you guaranteed quality, no matter what position he plays. How can he be dismissed for economic reasons? It just baffles me. I look at these three players, Maatsen, Jalaba, Gallagher. Listen, for Gallagher, if you decide in the future, listen, Andre Santos will replace you, I can accept that, but it won't happen this summer. There has to be that transition periods. But I look at quality that we produce that is more than good enough to compete in our first team, that comes from the club, that knows what it means to play for us. And I'm constantly seeing these opportunities taken away so we can make these economic deals where we're going to sign a Adarabioyo where, listen, the guy is not going to be challenging for a first team spot. He's not that good. He's nice on the ball. He's good aerially. He is composed, but he also has some brain farts. That lack of concentration, making the wrong decisions at the wrong time. He's had that so many times throughout this season. I get why he's more enticing because he's available on a free, but I just think to myself, Like, is it worth losing a Chalobah, for example, someone that has the connection and ties? And I'm sorry, football is not just a game of just buying and selling and you're just constructing squads that have no souls or like team unity or anything like that. It's the best of both. You need all of that together. Why do you think when clubs are scouting players, they also scout their personality profiles to see if they're going to suit and match what already pre-exists at this football club? This stuff does matter because we're not talking about pixels on the screen. We're talking about human beings, right? I just think that, yeah, those decisions will always be a little bit of like it will never sit right with me because I think it's so unnecessary when it means that you're selling players like this to then bring in players who aren't even as good most of the times. I think that's what baffles me. I get it if it's going to be funding and Osimhen and, Olise potentially, but I don't think we have to sell so much talent to fund moves like this. And I think it gets a bit overkill when you're getting linked with your Adarabioyos when he's not as good as what we have already. And I'd be incredibly surprised if he got even more than like 25 games throughout the season if he decided to come to us. If I'm him, I'm going to Newcastle. I'm going somewhere where I can get more consistent minutes because when Fofana comes, when we sign another centre-back, and when we're set to have one of the fullbacks play an inverted role. Like, how many defenders do we actually need? Personally, I wouldn't sign anyone. I think what we have right now is more than good enough. Use that money elsewhere. Invest elsewhere. Listen to me. Colwell, Badiachil, Disasi, Fofana, and Trevor Chalobah, that's 5 centre-backs, including Reece James and Cucurella, who are said to invert. This is overkill. Stick to what you have. That's my opinions. But you guys don't have to agree with me. Share your opinions below. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up now and keep things moving. So thank you for watching today, my friends. Catch you all tomorrow. Cool.